Members of the athletic community can now breathe a sigh of relief. On Saturday, May 1st, a statutory instrument will come into effect allowing for the phased reopening of non-contact sports for training purposes. News 5 spoke to the minister responsible for sports, Kevin Bernard, about these latest developments.
The Ministry of Sports, of course, have been lobbying some time to try to get sport back on track. We know that our COVID numbers were down for some time, and we have seen a little bit a spike, but I think it's also on a controllable pace, and that gives us a little bit of relief. So we're going ahead with our plans as agreed with the various sporting associations, so that effective May 1st, I believe the SI should be coming out sometime today. When it comes to contact sports, I want to make it absolutely clear. There's a list of contact sports in this country that will be allowed, but for training purpose only for the next 3 months. So we're opening up contact sport, but for training only, and it can only happen within the same organization. So you can't say Team A is going to train against Team B and you're from two different associations. That won't happen. Team A has to split itself into 2 or 3 and to train amongst themselves.
Non-contact sporting athletes will now be allowed to host and participate in competitions, but only in the absence of an audience or fans.
Over the next months 3 to 6 now, we're saying after we monitor the progress, then we open up contact sports for competition without spectators as well. So for the first 6 months, we can't have gathering, we can't have audiences and so forth. We have to be innovative and maybe look at technology and allow people to join in virtually. So the organizers of these events may want to attract a virtual audience, similar that's what has been done in some of the other sports in the region. And then after month 6 is completed, the Ministry of Health and Wellness and our ministry will go back. We'll do another review, a comprehensive review, to see if there was any issues related to COVID matters related to sporting activities. Should there be any spike in cases, however, though, Paul, we will have to close back sports down.
And while recreational sports enthusiasts may want to dust off those football pegs and basketball jerseys to begin play on the nearest community playground, the Minister of Sports is saying not so fast.
One concern, however, that has been raised through the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Sport is the fact of recreational sports. I understand we would want to see our children going out and play in the backyard, in the neighborhood parks, but it's a bit tricky. So we are going to be looking at that. I believe that we had made an agreement that we would have brought recreational sports, but we are kind of pulling back that one a bit because it can be somewhat a spreader. So we want to ask people to understand, to bear with us.
No? Just to be clear, no, the football fields in the community basketball courts, they're not open for recreational sports at this time.
That was the position and recommendation that came to us in terms of and of course to also look at the matter of policing these things, So what we don't want is people to say, "Oh, but we are practicing," and then it's not. They're using the recreational advantage, but at the same time trying to say, "Oh, just practicing," and that's not the case. We know who are who, and that's why there is a register that will be required for those teams involved and with the NAC.
According to Minister Bernard, sporting associations and organizations in contact sports disciplines who will train during this period must be registered with the National Sports Council of Belize. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.